Sunday Sharpe, do 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 do. Sunday Sharpe, do 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 do. Sunday Sharpe, do 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 do. Evening, everybody. Well, I'll say everybody. The person who's here. Evening, Gnarly. How are you? Hope all is well. And I hope my computer doesn't keep freezing up like that, because that's really annoying. And Redfish, Bluefish, Jason, the fish nerd. Hey, you. Hope all is well in Nerdville. And as I start out and say, I hope any of my American friends in the Texas region haven't been screwed over by the slight issues with power and bit of snow and ice. Hope anyone who is affected, it's all fixing itself out again now. Quite why that would happen in this day and age, I have no idea. Yeah, nerds, all nerds together. So yeah. Temper time, no paintball today. No paintball, no mowing. I suppose either way, you likely to get shot in the forehead. Lovely Marrett, how are you, my darling? Mwah. I hope all is. I welcome my new tyrannical overlords of privatisation. Yeah. So we've gone down that route as well over here. Virtually everything is privatised now, apart from the NHS. But it operates under really strict guidelines. Let's just say that if that happened over here, yeah, they'd probably be going bust with the size fines they'd be getting. Yeah. And just mismatched socks. How are you? Prepping for a camping fishing trip to the Everglades. Cool. Keeping an eye out for Sasquatches, or whatever they're known as in the Everglades. Now, Boggy Creek is further south, isn't it? Or was that Georgia? I can never remember. And evening, little Lisa. How are you? I'm passably human, as usual. That's about as good as it ever gets with me. Vaguely human and conscious is hugely a bonus. Yeah, I'll say in the glades, as it were. Yeah, keeping an eye out for cryptids, gators, boas, pythons. All the stuff that might eat you. Always better for seeing you, Marrett. After a nice quiet week work-wise this week, I've got a really nasty one this week. I've somehow managed to inherit another 9 hours on top of a normal week. Crocs, gators. Yeah, don't wear Crocs, Tom, mate. They're not very protective. Some say Yeti, Bigfoot, Sasquatch. I call it the tourist ape. Yep. Yes, I know my McAfee protection has run out. You've been telling me that for about 3 years, computer. Yes. It's something I'm rather interested in. Hobby, I don't know. Cryptids, the unexplained, the paranormal, all that stuff is always, I find, interesting. There's some element of truth somewhere with all of it. You might have to dig blooming deep to find it, but there is something there usually. So, usual start off. Obviously, everyone here knows I'm going to smoke, I'm going to drink energy drinks, and I might swear. Yeah, my stream, my rules. So kicking off with what most people are here for, which is fishy stuff. Nothing much happening at all, really. mostly come out at night, mostly, exactly. Or is it that just during the daytime there's that much more going on that you don't notice these things? Because I get that little one coming for snoozy snuggles during the day. I hear him during the day and at night. A bit of my shadow person I normally only notice at night, but that's a completely different thing. Yeah, so fishies wise, everyone is okay, doing fine. Yeah, fire axe full of fry. And as I noticed this afternoon, just like when the royal family have birthday cannons are being. Did you just hear cannons going off and poop yourself, Marriott? I wouldn't blame you. They're pretty loud. But yes, we do have another batch of bristlenose eggs in the cave at the moment. So thank you for that, Spotty. Now I'm going to have to sell another tank's worth to make space. Dan, just the man. Watching a video on the Night Cruise, was it the Sky LED? Looks good. That's actually scarily again. That's the one I was thinking of looking at getting, along with the remote programmer thingy that you reviewed the other week. So I guess I don't have to do a video on that anymore, unless I just do an unboxing and say if you want to see more, just go watch Dan's video. Makes my life easier. 3 female minnows beating up 2 males. Don't know who to remove from the tank. See, what I would do there, Lisa, is whichever ones I caught first. Basically. Oh God, yeah, because you would have been there for that. Yeah. Females are full of eggs. So it's basically a nightclub at 2 a.m. then. Eventually the females will either reabsorb or drop the eggs, but yeah. Might be the females are mature, the males aren't quite mature yet. I don't know. I mean, it all depends if there's damage, if they're getting fins nipped and bits like that. Then maybe separate. If there's no real damage or issues going on, actually, the fish are hurt or hiding up in one corner of the tank, really not looking themselves. Now I'd probably leave it to let it sort itself out, but that is just me. Nature finds a way usually. I'm probably stuff I missed. Yeah, different perspectives, and weirdly, some people appear to like my voice. Who knows a dragon? Yeah, that's definitely a nightclub at 2 a.m. then. Yeah, I think I've kind of got that with my cribensis at the moment. Mrs. Crib is very ready. Keeps giving it the "ooh, look at me, aren't I pretty" to Mr. Crib. Even though he's got his full breeding plumage on as well, they don't seem to be wanting to do it, which I'm glad of at the moment. Last thing I need is another 70 or 80 cribensis fry. And it's going to be a headache trying to figure out where I'm going to put another batch of bristlenose fry, but minor problem. Yeah, I've still got a couple of days to think about it. I suppose I could technically feed the eggs to the Acaras. I'll make them produce eggs. And then I'd probably have to feed some cribs to Spaz to make space to put the Acara fry. Hey, minor problem. Sure, Miles. Given my experience in clubs at 2 a.m. Ahoy, ahoy! Howdy, Graham. How you doing? Hope all is well with you. Again, sorry I keep missing your streams, but I work Friday evenings, so I do catch them on, or try to catch them on the rerun. Unfortunately, they tend to be nap fodder. Nothing personal, but yeah, if I put on a long video, I do tend to fall asleep. Yeah, it's just what happens. Some of them small, yeah. So it can be hard to tell with smaller fish between a boy and girl, but when one's full of eggs and the other one's not, it's pretty obvious. Thank you, Dan. As I say, it's not the sound of your voice, Graham. It's just me. Especially if I decide I want to lay down. That's just a done deal then. If I lay down, then I'm going to fall asleep. They used to be the boss. Yeah, they thought they wanted some, and then the whole prospect of fatherhood, and they got scared. That's what's happening. Oh, Christ. Hang on. I'm going to be a dad. No. I don't want to be a dad yet. Help. Go after him. And yes, I'm on annoying clicky lighters at the moment because I managed to basically wear a hole in my thumb with the wheel ones. I thought we'd let that heal up first before we make that bigger. Yeah, so I don't know how many bristle noses there are, but given that Ginger is getting bigger, there's probably going to be at least 30 or 40 in there. Might remove the girls. Well, I'll say if whichever ones are easier to catch, if the boys happen to swim into the net first, move them. Yeah, it's. Although, if it's the girls causing the problem, well, it's not territorial things. It probably wouldn't matter whether you took the boys or the girls out. 3 or 4 months. Minnows are definitely going to be mature. They're probably about that old when you got them. Yeah. You never know. You might have some baby. I'm assuming white cloud minnows. That is something I did actually spot earlier this week. Oh God, that's another one, isn't it? No. Yeah, it is. I did actually spot a teeny teeny baby celestial pearl Danio. Whether it's survived, I don't know. I saw it once for a couple of seconds and then it just vanished. So you never know. We might have some baby CPDs in that tank. It's a case of if they're in there, they're staying in there. I'm not even going to try and catch them. I mean, sort of quarter the size of a grain of rice. They're tiny. Males look promising at first, but haven't quite delivered for the females. Girls are doing all the chasing. Yeah, males could be older. I mean, speaking as a male, now I don't mind if the girls do all the chasing. Baby CPDs must be delicious. Keep finding frying, they're not. Yeah, I'm sure mine spawn pretty much every day, Graham, and I've tried putting moss in and a mop. Yeah, the Sharpe rigged up, bodged up version of a mop, and not seen any eggs, or I've seen them laying eggs, and then the other CPDs eating the eggs before they hit the bottom. But yeah, I just happened to see one, so never know. And given the price of CPDs, there's probably one that's probably worth actually breeding. If it's one of those things where if you could get it down pat, so you could production line CPDs, you'd probably be sitting on a fairly tidy amount of profit. Yeah, the males can get too old because they're fairly short-lived fish, I would guess. Is it probably about a year, I'd have thought, with a mountain minnow. And they're just like, no, too old for this. So yeah, well, so they might be shooting blanks, you never know, or just not interested. I tend to find that heavy metal music gets fish breeding, which is part of my problem because I listen to heavy metal music. Classical would probably work as well, but metal's more interesting and fun to listen to. Oh, pardon me. Territory. I wouldn't have thought it's a territory thing with minnows, and they're not really a territorial fish. So it could be they're just thinking, "Oh, we got more space. We got plenty of room to multiply now." And yeah, either the males are a bit old or not quite old enough and don't really know what to do. Because again, we've all experienced the 2 a.m. fumblings outside a nightclub. Mr. B, how the devil are you, sir? Good to see you. Hope all is well with you. Why am I going to relight it? It hasn't gone out. That's a miracle. Yeah, so that's about all that's happened this week. I've had a relatively quiet week. I say relatively compared to everyone else. I've probably had a completely dead week, but you know, I try not to do too much at the best of times. It's going to be fun getting the water changes done next week, so might have to miss Puffada or roll-ups. But it's because I'm talking away and I'm not sucking on my butt, as it were. So they go out, which is far better than tailor-mades, which carry on burning no matter what you do. Because it means if you're doing something, you stick your rollie in your mouth and use both your hands for whatever it is you're doing, and as long as you don't breathe in through your mouth, then it goes out. Quite as good means a little went wrong. It does. I'm happy with a week when nothing goes wrong. Well, I mean, apparently I've got to have a new electric meter fitted, but yeah, you're on about all this COVID stuff where they got, you know, how they're going to ensure my safety while they do it, and I'm thinking, my electric meter's outside. They don't even need to come into the house or see me or anything to do it. I just need to know when they're going to do it so I can then make sure that all the fishy stuff turns back on again afterwards. Yeah, that'll be one of the smart meters, so you can see exactly how much electric you are using. In other words, turn it around to face the wall because you don't want to know how much you're using when you're running 15 fish tanks or however many you happen to be running. To be fair, though, it's going to be the heaters that do the majority of that, and given it's warming up now, must be around about 25 degrees warmer than it was this time last week. Perhaps at least 20. That's 20 degrees C, not F. Last week, everything closed, all the doors, windows, everything, keep everything shut. Got a woolly hat on, all that kind of stuff. Today, I've had the back door open most of the day. So I'm kind of keeping an eye out for any livestock that came in. I'll shut it now, obviously. And the frogs are out and about again, so we'll probably be getting the frog chorus at some point before too long. be sitting here doing a live stream on a Sunday evening, and all you'll hear in the background is brrr, brrr, brrr. And it won't just be me burping for a change. Yeah, still not sponsored, but hey, the Mega Monsters are on offer at the moment. So as I got it as a meal deal, I went with the Red Bull because they're not on offer. So I saved more money. Just not quite the same as Monster. Doesn't go down quite so smoothly. Ooh. What else has been going on? Yeah, so I will be upgrading the light in there, although looking at that, it doesn't look like it needs it. It's just the way that the camera is catching it. Oh yeah, Frogs and Scream. Yeah, so that's why that little boy up there, he was scared of frogs because one screamed at him once, and it scared him. Quite rightly. Yeah, I mean, I didn't see it happen, but I heard the frog scream, and then Zach came bounding through the back door like a lightning bolt. He was like, human help! Nasty frog thing screamed at me. Yeah, don't try and eat it then. And from then on, he'd go, every time he went to drink out the pond, which is whenever he's outside, he drank out the pond. You sort of see him walk up to it slowly and then carefully check, make sure there weren't any frogs anywhere near before having a drink. Bless him. Two huge swimming pools outside now. A couple of days ago, people were skating on it. Oh dear. You've had a bit of a thaw as well, have you, Merritt? It was rather snowy and icy earlier in the week. I wouldn't want to swim in it though. Oh, Zach, yeah, Zach bought me gifts. He would leave mouse heads stood on like the stump of their neck. He would leave them all lined up just outside the back door for me. He bought me a bat that he hadn't killed because it didn't have any teeth marks or any noticeable injuries on it. Just bought a second-hand Roma, which came with the crappy, yeah, that is said, crappy 12.5 watt LED. And it's been running perfectly fine for 2 years, admittedly with low light plants like crits, but hey, I think I might have an upgrade. One of those ones where upgrade before the one that's in there goes bang. Because they got, what, is it a 3-year warranty on them? So chances are it's probably about to go bang. And then, hello, Chris, by the way. Yeah, so he bought me a bat, which he'd found, basically. It didn't have any injuries, let's put it that way. And it was all wrapped up and like it had just died and fallen out of its roost or something. And yeah, I woke up at 3 o'clock in the morning to a meow, and he was stood there with not a baby rat, and it weren't dead. Yeah, 3 o'clock in the morning, there's a big floofy white cat stood there with a big black rat in its mouth. And he's like, look, human, I bought you a present. And I'm like, thanks. What do I do? It's 3 in the morning. I've just about woken up. I'm just about awake. What do we do? So, right, I've got to get rid of the rat, but I don't want to upset Zach because he's done a nice thing. In cat terms, he's bought me a present. So give him plenty of fusses, grab the rat by the tail, distract him with more fusses, and literally just haul the rat out the back door. Just it was gonna it wasn't gonna survive, let's put it that way, after he's chomped down on it the size of his fangs. It was on the way to dying, but yeah. So yeah, I had to do that, and then give him lots more fusses while he looked confused about where his present had gone. So I gave him some treats, and that did the trick. And then he came and snuggled, and we went to sleep together because he's a good boy, or was. Yeah, so the one question I had about the the light you reviewed, Dan, if you're still here. Obviously, you got the 3 buttons for the white, red, and blue. Can you alter the strength of them or the brightness of the light? Or is it just on or off, and then white and red, or white, red, and blue? Or friend Joe's got, oh, slow worms are awesome. Basically, just lizards without legs. Well, they technically still have legs. They're just internal. I know, weird as it sounds. If you X-ray a slow worm, you can actually see the tiny remains of the leg bones. Not that I've done it, but I've read about these things and seen pictures. It is kind of cool. Awesome from a distance. Yeah, so don't really get many slow worms around here. It's more grass snakes around this area. Scotty, how the heck are you, sir? Hope warm and snug and comfy and safe. Yes, so it's grass snakes around here. Down where Mary is, it's more likely to be adders. And so it's more than once I've been sat there fishing and had a grass snake just swim across the lake. Hello. Fortunately, I didn't use anything as bait that they would eat, so I never accidentally caught one. I caught a few ducks. A couple of moor hens. It's weird though, if you hook a duck and you accidentally, not on purpose, and you reel it in, obviously it's struggling at the end of the line. Yeah, Mary's, I say, all better now. We know what it is, and things are being done to put it right. Let's put it that way. It's a lady's problems. Yeah. Where was I? Yeah. If you try and put a duck into a landing net, then try and net the duck out of the water, it absolutely freaks out. If you just bend down and pick it up, it's calm. I would have thought having a human bend down and actually grab you and literally grab you by the neck and start waggling a hook out of your beak, you're probably more likely to freak out than if they try and put you in a net. But yeah, apparently the net is scarier than the human, unless you're a rat. There's the amount of times I've been sat there fishing and had a rat run across the swim in front of me and ended up with itself getting stuck in the landing net and tangled up. That's fun. Untangling a rat from a net without hurting the rat. Because believe it or not, I like rats. Rats are cool. Yeah. And water voles, you see a lot of those down at the lake as well, which are actually an endangered species now. So it's always good seeing those. Kingfishers, herons. It's when the heron sits there, it looks down at the fish and goes, "Nope, nope, you're too big." or when you don't notice the heron in the reeds and you're sat there and then the heron decides to take off and you feel your pants because you didn't know it was there, and this honking great 5-foot bird just appears about 6 feet away from you. Yeah, weasels, stoats, bunnies. Bunnies scream well as well, especially when a weasel grab or a stoat grabs hold of them. Otters making a comeback. Beavers have been released in Scotland into the wild, and otters, the numbers are gradually coming up. Certainly around here, they regularly get shot around here. I say regularly. Yeah. Otters get shot around here, let's put it that way. Because most fishing lakes especially, are stocked. That's not the fish that are naturally, think of it as a giant fish tank or giant fish pond in the garden that you put a bunch of fish into. So obviously the people who run that don't want their fish all getting eaten. And otters find a lake that's full of carp, they will literally kill the carp, eat the liver and leave the rest of it. Because it's like, well, there's so much food in here, I don't need to eat all of it. And yeah, it's basically easier and cheaper to trap or shoot the otter than it is to fence off the entirety of a lake with otter-proof fencing. And when you bear in mind that most of the lakes are fed by streams and ditches, that's really quite tricky to waterproof. Yeah, it's sad, but people have to make a living. And no, you can't blame the otters. They're just doing what comes naturally. You know, you find a plentiful food source, you hang around it. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens with the beavers in Scotland. The wolves as well. They haven't released those yet. They're still in captivity. They're out, as it were. They got big fenced off area. But yeah, it's only going to be a matter of time before it's on the news about wild wolves in Scotland. Dobo, hello, how are you? Yeah. Hey. I mean, I think it's pretty recent. I mean, I know I've seen them in the past. I haven't seen any for quite a while. But we had mink got introduced here for fur farming. Obviously, the fur trade died off, and they released all the mink into the wild. And yeah, I think eventually they finally got rid of them. But yeah, they're vicious little buggers as well. Pammy, how the devil are you? Woke up for one of my streams. Thank you so much. I have missed you. And I've missed your streams as well. Because, well, I'm working late, so I'm waking up late. I generally wake up shortly after your stream ends. Yeah, nothing personal, I'm sure you know that, but yeah, sleep pattern has been bad for us. Not going to bed around 6. Yeah, that'll be. Have you been staying up drawing all night and then? Yeah, been there, done that. Well, not with drawing, but other things. And Shelley Sean, how the devil are you, sir? Good to see you again. Yeah, so the various indigenous and introduced life forms of East Anglia. There's all sorts of weirdness going on. I mean, let's be honest, I mean, the local lake I fish, in addition to this normal fish you'd expect to find in a lake, roach, rudd, tench, bream, perch, his water is going to have perch in. Apparently, I was just taking a nap. Yeah, been there, done that. But yeah, as I say, carp obviously aren't native to the UK, but I think it's been long enough now that we can consider them that way. But there are koi in there, there are golden orf, blue orf, goldfish. Now some really bizarre hybrids coming on between fantail goldfish and common carp. So you get fantail common carp. They really don't fight. Oh, is that it? Marrett woke you up, Sean? Is that what it is? Yeah, she's been interfering with my sleep as well this week. Oh, it was good to dream about zombies again last night. Oh, cousin got the record of catching the biggest carp. What size are we up to now, Lisa? Last time I looked, it was around 55 pound or something, which I think is probably quite small. It's probably the same carp, it's just got bigger, that kind of thing. Because I caught the biggest carp in the lake that I fished at, and I know now it's about 6 or 7 pound heavier. Doesn't fight as hard. Dog needed a pee. That'll always wake you up. At least he just jumped on you. Zach would meow at you. If that didn't wake you up, he'd just punch you in the face instead. Literally, you wake up, whack. What? Whack. Meow. Then he'd run to whichever was the nearest door. He didn't mind whether we went out the front or the back. He just needed to go. He was a good boy. He never once went indoors. 115 pound jumping in your lap will wake you quickly. Yeah, I don't think Zach was probably much more than 5 or 6 pound, but I never did make angling times. But then I don't think my kind of way of fishing would go down well with angling times readers. Nothing gets crankier than a cat. Oh, I don't know. A tired woman that's been denied access to chocolate gets pretty cranky. Which is why, gents, if your lady is in a bit of a bad mood, just chocolate. It works, trust me. It works for me as well. If I'm in a bad mood, give me chocolate. Chocolate and then leave me alone. So I can demolish said chocolate and gradually come out of my grump. He obviously realised you had to get up as well. He's like, oi, I need a pee. Dad's watching something important. You're just sleeping. Go on, let me out. Or are you the potty friend, as it were? Yeah, definitely dark now. That's the other thing I noticed the last couple of days is actually going to work and it's not pitch black yet. Woohoo! Won't be too long before I come home and it's only just dark. Yeah, just shadow messing with you. Exactly. Just personality and being himself, which is what you want. Oh, itchy nose. Yeah, sorry for how much my nose bends when I do that. It's because it's not attached to anything. Goofball. Exactly, that's what you want. You want a pet dog or cat that has got its own personality. You get that kind of relationship where you're kind of on even ground with each other, and then they just chill out and you can have fun. And you have electric blue acaras swimming into your ears. Oh, and at the other side as well. And actually, is he still up there? Yeah, I don't know how well the camera would actually see it, but one of my vampire shrimpies is out and about. This doesn't happen very often. £21 Zander. Oh, geez, that is a big chunk of pike perch. Or now I'm just get the just trying to untangle the camera cable so I can actually extend it all the way. Try pointing at something useful, might help. Right, there we go, we're untangled. So if we it'd help if I actually looked where I was pointing the camera, wouldn't it? There we go. Somewhere around there. You can see the bamboo shrimp on the top of the wood. But just below that is the vampire shrimp. And that one random guppy that's still somehow in there. And a big old happy cara. You're going to snap my wrist in a minute, fish. That's all right, you're running out of fish tank. But yeah, so up there we have. Can I get any closer? That way. Not really. But yeah, big old Zander. That's a shame you've not spoken for 12 years. If it makes you feel any better, it's well over 20 years since I spoke to any of my family. And that is a very lucky guppy. Yeah. I think what's happened is Spaz is just letting it grow big enough to make it worth chasing and eating. But yeah, Zander, what is it? Yeah, Stitzer and Lucia Perca. I was just playing with you then, Sean. Hoping to get some Bosmanis to go into 200. Yeah, Bosmanis are pretty. Now, I did have some Bosmani in here. I got 4 within a day. One of them had developed a fungal infection. Within 3 days, 3 of them were dead. And within about a week, they pretty much wiped out the tank with columnaris. That was just where I got them from. Yeah, sad, but it is life. Hubby doesn't make you dip. Oh no, you need slipping on the training there, Marek. You need to withhold favors. That's what you need to do. Yeah, they're not deep fish either. Most rainbows aren't, but yeah, so they took out. So I lost all 4 of the rainbows. Actually, it's easier to what survived was 1 epistogramma and Dave the bristlenose. I think they were the only 2 that survived. And I gave you the menu. Get on about, we'll get it corrected. Yeah, I'll cook this. I'll sort you something for dinner as well, Marek. That's not a problem. Uh, Cook your dinner and give you a neck rub as well. How's that sound? Well, I say cook. I mean buy. It's probably safer if I don't cook food for people. The amount of times I've given myself gut rot. I'm not saying I'm a bad cook, but I'm a bad cook. Plus, no sense of smell and very little sense of taste means my food tends to be very strongly flavoured. A legit menu. Ah, yeah. Oh, it all depends how far you want to travel, Marek, for a meal and a cuddle. So, mind if you go shore and you get a fuss. Microwaving is not a form of cooking. Well, I've messed that up before as well. Um, fell asleep after a trip, woke up and asked him what's the dinner he's looked at. Oh, yeah, good idea, Michael. Corned beef hash. I would have probably just gone down the chippy. And I would have even have treated Marek to fish and chips, not just sausage and chips, which is what I would have. Yeah. Yeah. Look out, Michael. You're going to develop a lot of fans for corned beef hash because most of us like that. Heck, just corned beef with bread and butter. I'm easily pleased. Although frying it up with some potatoes always works well as well. Yum, 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 yum. Hard-boiled potatoes, chuck them in the frying pan, get them fry them up. Neck rub and a bought meal or cooked meal in fish shed. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, but it'd be bought meal and then sitting in the fish house. So we can take turns. Corned beef sandwich with beetroot. Yeah, not a huge fan of beetroot, but I wouldn't say no. Irish corned beef, sauerkraut. Oh yeah. Various human fry battles. I'm trying to. Yeah, those damn human fry. Fish fry are so much easier to look after. And the stores have the corned beef briskets out for St. Patrick's. Probably. We've got all the Easter eggs out now. I know what's going to happen. I'll make dinner. Either you'll make dinner or everyone will go hungry, Marek. That's what's going to happen. Um, cheese on toast it is then. Although I've definitely had worse Sunday teas and cheese on toast. Point Town Flats. Yeah. Nom 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 nom. Corned beef. The thing that bugs me is though that corned beef's blooming expensive lately. It used to be a cheap, easy thing. Cheap tin of corned beef, 50p. Now you're looking, it's like £2 something on you. What? There's enough in there to make like 4 sandwiches. It's cheaper to actually buy bits of roast beef. Actually buy slices of roast beef is cheaper than buying corned beef. Oh, I'm going all furry, curly again down the back. Now Marek's hungry. Oh dear. I don't have anything to hand. Well, actually, I do. Because Mary bought me some more treats today. So I've got some of the prawn cocktail quavers and the salt and vinegar quavers. Why do they still have that silly key to get them open? Because it's the way it should be. That's the way corned beef is, and spam, or luncheon meat, whichever you want to call it. Chopped ham and pork's all the same bloody thing. But yeah. I mean, the thing is, you need a knife once you've used the key to open it anyway. To get it out of the actual tin. I don't mean you cut it out of the tin. You do the key and you end up with the two parts of the tin. What you do then is you get your knife and you stab it through the top of the tin a couple of times, which lets the air in, so you can then pull it out. Yeah, spam does, but that actually makes it harder to get it out than the old style. But yeah, the keys are always cool, and I've always got at least one, if not two, spare corned beef keys in the drawer in the kitchen, because we've all bought a can of corned beef without looking and it's not got a key on it, and then you, oh bugger, try and open it with a can opener, which never works. So you've got to have one of the old-fashioned can openers. You end up chewing half of the corned beef or spam into, well, mush. Yeah, key hasn't changed since World War II. Probably not changed much since World War One, I wouldn't have thought. The only real difference would be the key, screwdriver and pliers. Yeah, pliers are handy. Or warm water. If you stick it in warm water for a few seconds, or hot water for a few seconds, it melts the fat that's holding it to the tin. Because what holds it in, as well as the vacuum, is the fact that the fat has solidified and stuck it to the can, basically. So if you can part melt the fat, then it falls out quite happily. Sean can't be trusted with the key opener. Yeah. There is a certain knack to undoing a can of corned beef or luncheon meat. Nothing is cheap these days. No, too right. It's only going to get more expensive with Brexit. Words, exactly. Yeah, words are cheap. Words can be free. Pliers on a bad day, yeah. There's still a lot. Oh yeah, the old church key opener. Yep. Rip the paper off first. Yeah, that helps. Yeah, the proper old school can opener, not the new ones. And the old school. I've got an old school one, not one of the posh new ones that does everything itself. Hello, Ian. Atkins Nature Aquariums. How are you? Yeah. And while we're on the subject of tins, bloody Heinz tins, I hate them. They're the only people that do tins that don't stack inside each other. Don't know if you've ever worked in a shop or when you do your shopping. You'll notice most of them will stack up and they're fairly neat and tidy. Heinz tins won't. They don't have that. They're the same top and bottom. So when you've got to stack them up, they're bloody nightmare. Dan had the KFC flavour crisps. Yeah, I've not tried them yet, Dan. I'm not a huge fan of KFC to start with. And when I noticed that they're only a 70-gram bag, it was like, nope. I'm gonna leave those. That's a lot. A pound for a piddly little bag of crisps like that. I'll pay a pound and get 100 grams of crisps. Yeah, fossil mum had can opener. That must have been 20 years. Yeah, mine is over 20 years old. Yeah, and yeah, it's rusty. But as you say, it just works. It's one of those. No, you're not the odd one out. I mean, I'm not a fan of chicken generally, full stop, as we've discussed in the past. Sea ration. Oh yeah, that's a proper can opener. Yeah, I've got one of them kicking around somewhere. Probably not a sea ration one, but that kind of style. And the other one was just the metal handles that you grip near. Yeah, no bits of molded plastic or easy grip technology or magnets or anything like that. Well, chips, crisps, and fries, chips. It's all backwards. No, we got it the right way around. Although the Americans calling fries or chips fries because they're chipped potatoes, which is why we call them chips. Probably comes from the French and Belgian, where chips are called frites. Le pomme frite, potato chips. And it's probably just a bastardization, that is not a swear word, of frites into fries, in the same way that most Americans can't pronounce French. What do we call a potato wedge? Potato wedge. Or spud chunk. Or roasty, depends how it's been cooked. I haven't been to KFC in 12 plus years. And I think the last time I had a KFC was back when, if you got the milkshake, you could turn it upside down on over your head and nothing would fall out of the cup. Would that have been college? Or I must have been since college, but once, maybe twice. Pommes frites, yeah, is the German. Yeah, but we can also spell aluminium, correct? Don't talk about KFC, I'm stuck. Oh, bless you, Marek. Why am I so tempted to just get something and start eating? KFC had shakes in the UK. That was the one thing I used to like there. The other thing I would get would be a Zinger burger. That's right, COVID 12. And come on, we've all. I mean, I know it happens everywhere. It's not just KFC, but we've all seen the ones with the manky bits of chicken or the Kentucky Fried Mouse. And you have Dairy Queen with shakes. Yeah. Well, it's one of those things where I don't know why they stopped doing them, but they did. You've got to go to Sweden for KFC. Oh dear. Well, at least Marriott is not something that you can just nip out and go grab from down the road. I mean, what have we got what have I got in town other than we got 1, 2, 4 fish and chip shops. We got chicken place, pizza place, 2 Chineses, 2 Indians, couple of random cafes, Greasy Spoon Cafe, and the Buddhist Cafe, which I've not tried. Arby's. Yeah, you see, obviously I don't get to try these places because most of these, and it's only the last few years we've had, was it five guys? I nearly said the wrong thing there. Yeah, Proven Point, meat pie. Yeah. Why anyone would waste pastry on putting fruit in it, I have no idea. When meat, gravy, potato, cheese and potato pie is just epic. Admittedly, fish pie doesn't have pastry, but yeah, chicken and mushroom, steak and ale, steak and kidney. Might get overheated from spicy Chinese. Nah. Nah. No. Yeah, let's just say when I go into the Indian or I order an Indian, they add extra spice for me. And the KFC gravy is not gravy. It's dishwater. Chubs, how the devil are you? No, I've not been to Nando's, Lisa. Don't worry about it. I try not to eat chicken, so that's probably why. Yeah, peace, Chubs. Yeah, I've not been to Nando's. As I say, was it 7 years working in a chicken factory? And before that, 7 years living on a chicken farm. I kind of not interested in chicken anymore. Plus, when you've got no sense of smell, very little sense of taste, chicken just doesn't taste of anything. Let's be proper and posh. And then burp and mess it up. Yeah. Yes, when you've been up to your shoulder in chicken guts, fallen over in the blood tunnel. KFC gravy is one of the nicest. Yeah, it's not a gravy. Then I found a Wendy's who worked with the original KFC. That's an interesting factoid. And the monster, well, what I normally do to get the mega monsters is I buy a meal deal because I work in a one-stop, so we got decent meal deals compared to Sainsbury's. But the mega monsters are on offer at the moment at $120. So if I'd by getting that with my meal deal, I saved an extra 95p. Or read that as I screwed my boss out of an extra 95p. You don't want to know how many of the reduced sandwiches I end up with. Pretty much a mainstay of my diet these days is reduced one-stop sandwiches. And I'm the person that gets to do the reductions as well. I don't like extra reduce them because I'm having that one. I'll put 10p on it or whatever. They all get the same pricing because otherwise, technically, that's stealing. If you reprice them for personal use, as it were. But the perk is that I'm the one reducing them. I get first choice. If it gets to the end of the day and they don't sell, then they go free to staff the next day. So the boss would rather I paid my 50, 70, 80p or whatever, and he actually got a bit of his money back, then I come in the next day. Because if I wanted to, I know there's a lot that went out of date today. So what I could do is go in at 5 o'clock in the morning tomorrow. Well, maybe not 5 o'clock, so it wouldn't have been done by then, but let's say 6 o'clock in the morning tomorrow. I could go in and raid all the ones that were out of date. Yeah, I don't eat petrol station food. It's a convenience store in the UK, one stop. So it's like a miniature supermarket. Black Rifle Model Works. Luke, you beautiful man. How the devil are you? Long time no speak. I'm still doing the live. I'm still alive. Barely. Hope all is well with you and your lovely lady friend. Carl, hello again as well. And hope everyone is doing well ISM-wise. Loves and hugs to everyone. And weirdly, I don't know what's going on because I've not seen any Squid that I've caused some... backstory for everyone who doesn't know, Luke and I are part of the same kind of modelling group. Hang out together, as it were, online. or used to, until my mojo completely died. But yeah, there's a lot of times when people have like left the group, there's been some kind of explosion and hate and lots of nastiness going on. There's been none of that. I've not left. I just haven't taken part. But yeah, I've not seen anyone saying anything about me doing anything. The reason he's not there anymore. It's kind of a surprise. But then, as I say, I've not fallen out with anyone recently. He's coming. Oh yeah, I reckon. Well, you see, that's the thing, Sean. Me, you, and Marriott in the same fish shed. I don't think a lot of work's going to get done. Yeah, I know I'm welcome. I'll say that. Well, if of anyone here, Luke knows just how quickly I build, and the fact that I haven't finished that Todd McFarlane Space Marine yet, or the plague crawler I got for my birthday last year. Yeah, that shows where the mojo levels are at. Also, hi Carl, if I didn't say hi before. Yeah, I'll say I've made sure I've not burnt any bridges or upset anyone because I've got no reason to. I just haven't been building models, so I haven't been joining in. I'll keep my eye on what's going on in the chat and try and keep up with people's videos, but so many videos and so little time in the day. If I were to try and watch every person's video, I wouldn't be doing anything else. Take my time on bills due to work schedules. Yeah, I'll say this is. Also, I would normally build in the evenings, and now I'm working evenings. So, generally of the 5 days I work in a week, I don't finish before 11 most days, 11 p.m. So, standing with big ass in the air doing tanks. Yeah, you stand there with your ass in the air, Marriott, and me and Sean will be watching. That's basically it. Fish Tropic, how you doing? Barely conscious after work. Yeah, I'm pretty much the same. I get home, take an hour to wind down, and then just pass out pretty much. That's why half the time my mattress bed stays down here because I can't be bothered to go back upstairs. Yeah, I've got to say, if you were bending over in front of me, Marriott, I'd be watching. Whichever way you faced. Yeah, I swear it's an age thing with me. I've just got to an age now where it's like, ugh. I don't think I could do a full-time job, 9 hours a day, 5 days a week. Yeah, I know. I ain't got to be building anything to join in, but it just kind of feels a bit wrong for some reason. But yeah, stay well and healthy yourself and have a good time. Don't work too hard. You stay safe, Luke. And to the rest who obviously don't know, Luke is actually a paramedic in the UK. So he's been working his butt off for the last year in very dangerous conditions. So, well, actually, the one I can technically give salute to him. Well, given some of the jobs he's had in the past, it's pretty safe. Stopwatch. Yeah, I've not quite got what the shorts thing is about. Is it a way to keep content going on to the channel without actually, I'm not going to say without doing the work, because it's still work to do it. Yeah, so I didn't put a video out this week because I really couldn't think of anything to do a video on. I didn't want to just do another one of, and here's the fry rack, and here's the Akaras, and here's the shell dwellers, or whatever. and keep going around like, yeah, I want to do something different. Now, if I get new fish or new babies, I'm not going to do a video on baby bristle noses because, gods. Yeah. I mean, if the Acaras have babies, then yeah, there'll be a video on that. And we got 4 to 6 hours in the PQ8 dipping government trade box. Yeah, it would do. Yeah. I just have to deal with the public. I'm not sure what I'd rather deal with, grenade boxes or the public. Big J, welcome aboard. How are you? Big Tank Hank. Buy some sharks, do a marine tank. Yeah, marine tank is kind of one of those things I'm thinking about, and it's on the back burner. Expensive, trickier, whole lot more to learn before I could start it, and I'd need to clear a tank out as well. That's the problem. Basically, I'd need to sell a couple of hundred more bristle noses and probably about 100 more crebensis to make enough space. Just got the new 4.2. Yeah, I'd say if I could have a 425, I would, but yeah, I've not got anywhere to put one. Red Sea, very cool. I would probably go with the Fluval if I was going marine, but again, that's just because I know Fluval tanks. I've got 3 of them. Right? It's just yeah, you stick with what you know. Yeah, doing a salt tank takes a lot of planning, exactly, and I'm not exactly renowned for my planning abilities or my precision. I've been told off for the way I do water changes because I'm not exactly matching the temperature of the water. I just stick my hand in the bucket and go, yeah, that's about right, and dump it in the tank. I don't. Oh, it needs to be 82 degrees. It's like, yeah, it's about right. Seems to work so far. Yeah, so I'm very much a make things up as I go and figure it out as I go kind of person. I'll do the research first to understand what I need to get and what is the generally accepted way of doing it. And I just noticed that's bugging me. All those tanks are exactly the same bloody level. I'm going to need to take some water out of one of them or 2 of them. Movements HMC 900 and yeah, so it's one of those things. If I looked in and actually did the research into what I would need and what I'd need to do, because I understand the filtration is a bit trickier, because obviously marine life doesn't like nitrates at all, or phosphates, and you get weird algae and all sorts of random stuff. I mean, I know I've got a local, my closest LFS does sell live rock. So I know it's live rock because it's in the sump. What is the sump for their marine display? Different filter medium, sort of high intensity, shallower, getting more solid heat. Yeah, exactly. It's stuff to learn, stuff to think about, but there are plenty of freshwater fishes that I'd like to try before I can go on to that. Some frags. Oh, corals. So if I was doing it, I'd probably go Fowler, fish only with live rock, because my eyes hate the blue LEDs. That actinic blue light just gives me a headache in about 5 minutes. So I couldn't be doing with that at all. And what I would probably do would probably be one of the Fluval Flexes I would convert. Yeah, the problem is, Michael, sharks also thrive in, let's put it this way, a 15-gallon tank ain't going to be big enough. Even for some of the dwarf species of shark. The one thing that really does fascinate, I mean, yeah, the fish are pretty, and some of the shrimps are really pretty. It's all the other random stuff that lives in marine environments that I find interesting. So the starfish, the hermit crabs, the sea cucumbers, bristle worms, all that kind of stuff. I know this sort of frogfish or something like that. Yeah, and so it'd be sea cucumbers are just one of the coolest things there is, especially if you get one of the pink fleshy coloured ones, because then they look absolutely perverse. They're sort of slugging their way around a tank looking like a gentleman's veg area. Yeah, frogfish definitely ugly. Yeah, that they are. Character. Although I was saying, one of my LFS has actually got dragonfish in. Is it dragon or no lionfish? Big spiky ones that they keep having to cull. Not allowed on posting them videos. Have you seen the video of one pooping though, Sean, the sea cucumber? Because that is epic. Watching the sea cucumber poop is just awesome. I've actually stood there in the shop for about 10 minutes and caught one using. Yeah, basically looks like a penis. Oh, what was that movie? Ron Jeremy and Amber Benson. One-Eyed Monster, that was it. Yeah, it reminds me of something out of that film. Yeah, the whole premise of the movie was that Ron Jeremy's manhood could detach itself from him, and it went around raping women on its own. Yeah, really bad movie, but kind of worth watching just for the lulz, just how bad it is. And it's Ron Jeremy actually trying to act. It really doesn't go well. Yeah, one-eyed trouser snake, purple-headed warrior, the womb ferret, all the other various names. I think actually looked like frogfish or something, looked like a prawn. It could have been a prawn or a scaup lobster or God knows what. Ooh, hiccups. We still don't know half of what lives in the oceans. I mean, things that we know for sure exist, like the megamouth shark, we only know because a couple of accidental tanglings up with Navy anchors from deep sea. See you later, Carl. Stay safe. I can't remember the name of the ship. It was one of the USS. US Navy. What was it? Was it a battleship or? Wasn't a battleship. Was it? It might have been a cruiser. But yeah, they were trying to lift the anchor. They were anchored in relatively deep water. And they were struggling to get the anchor up, and it was because it had been swallowed by a megamouth shark. Oh yeah, groupers get huge. Yeah. I mean, a grouper is basically like an Akara, but about 1,000 times the size, with a bad attitude. Not happy, friendly, fishy. I are swimming backwards just for fun. Yeah, I mean, depths of the oceans are fascinating. You know, nobody really knows what's down there. Bottom of the Marianas Trench. You know, all the legends might prove to be true. And heck, we don't even know what's down the blue holes. Taste for human flesh. I'm sure if those guys could, if I chucked a piece of myself in there, like chopped a few bits of finger off and put it in there, they'd soon disappear. If they didn't have it, Spaz certainly would. Um, yeah, giant squid. Well, I mean, that's what they think is happening in the blue holes. Um, the blue hole is basically a hole, basically a vertical cave. Speaking of Spaz, there he is. But it's connected via underwater passageways and caverns to the sea, and they get real deep. But they're inland and they're completely safe and calm and wonderful and beautiful. But the amount of people that go missing in them, and there's like no evidence of where they've gone. Most likely a giant squid down there. Squid or an octopus that's big enough to take a human. Video, yeah. I'll say there's also not video, but I think there was some video, but also pictures of the remains of an octopus that washed up somewhere. I think in Bahamas, somewhere like that. And working from the measurements of what washed up and what they know of octopi and their general layout, they worked out this thing had like a 60-foot arm span. And you're like, yeah, that's going to easily pull a human down. Giant squid at the Natural History Museum. Yeah, I mean, again, you haven't got to go back too far before you get to giant squid didn't exist. They were a cryptid. Let's be honest. The Kraken. When you consider the size of boats back in the day, when like stories of krakens and whatever were going around, you see the size of a giant squid. Yeah, I can quite believe them. You stick a harpoon or whatever into a giant squid, and then it's going to attack the boat. Don't want to be near any creature near my size or bigger. Don't care if it's the most friendly thing in the world. Yeah, you don't want to. Yeah, you don't want to hug for one of them. Yeah, that's one of the great things about the UK. There isn't any of our wildlife that's likely to eat you. Everything sees you as a predator rather than prey, except for maybe the giant, well, for the black panthers that are roaming the countryside. Yeah. There's no need to have a pet or whatever that's capable of killing you. Especially when you think about it, most of these animals are going to kill you with their face. Let's be honest. Go to Australia and it's the opposite. Yeah, exactly. That's why I'm staying here. I like cold, damp, grey, drizzly, safe. I'm trying to think what would. Yeah, adder. Most people, if they get bitten by an adder, it's not much worse than a bee sting. It's generally only if you're allergic to it. Then a lot of people are allergic to it, it turns out, when they get bitten. Or it's because they panic. But yeah, adders. Yeah, that is our only venomous snake. Wasps and bees. Again, only really dangerous if you're allergic to them. I remember going to the zoo with an ex. Want to go play with the elephant? No. Yeah. Yeah. It's one of those things because if you're the elephant keeper, you can. They know you. They trust you. You're a random stranger. They don't necessarily trust you. But I think I'll be more likely to walk up to an elephant than some of the smaller animals. Blackadder will stab you in your back. Oh yeah, you got to be careful of those blackadders. And to anyone who's not seen it, that's the theme tune to Blackadder. or slack bladder, as he sometimes got called by other people. Yeah, adders. Trying to think what other dangerous animals do we have? I mean, you know, other than that, it's things like horses and cows, which might kill you accidentally. Oh, and horses will do it on purpose because they're evil and should just be made into burgers. I'd let you go. Yeah, I wouldn't be going in the pen. No. Oh, Blackadder is hilarious. And I don't know whether it's more of a blokey thing because that kind of humour where, oh yeah, Dan, seagulls, yeah, they're very dangerous. Yeah, especially if you've got a tasty looking head, as Dan found out. Haven't seen it, please. Yeah, yeah, Blackadder and Red Dwarf. That's the 90s, Blackadder and Red Dwarf. I say, no, it's rooms of unicorns. Now, we've probably got plenty of eunuchs. There's plenty of corn, but no one's thought to put the eunuch and corn together yet. It's yeah, it's lots of unicorns in Wales. You just can't see them because of the rain. That's the problem. or or farmers been going around cutting one horn off of a ram and claiming it's a unicorn. That wouldn't surprise me, having spent time in Wales. Watching Red Dwarf while I was cooking. Yes. It's got to be the earlier Red Dwarfs. The last few seasons I haven't counted. Nessie, again. Nessie, does it exist, doesn't it? And the fact that you're looking at a massive lock, which they have found underground or underwater passageways, caverns that anything could hide in. Here them with ice cream. Oh, why can I just see you go around sticking ice cream cones on horses' heads? Oh, that would be hilarious. Yeah, it's when they prove the existence of unicorns because one gets eaten by or killed by something else, some other wild animal that we don't know exists yet. No, that's Wales, Michael. That is. I mean, the old joke is, what do you call a Welsh leisure centre? It's a sheep tied to a lamppost. Um, or what do you call a sheep with a runny nose? Full. Perhaps that explains the Scousers. They all got the woolly curly hair, so yeah. I think everyone who isn't Welsh is glad they're not Welsh. I used to greet my football coach and give him a salute. Oh yeah, something like, yeah, yeah, that'd get you an extra 4 laps, but the laugh is probably worth it. And you know what's happened is since that's happened, your your coach will have seen Red Dwarf and figured out where you got that from. Because because if he knew, he would have done it back, or just called you a smeghead. Which is why it's so funny. I mean, there's the fridge company, mainly fridges. I think they do other kitchen appliances, actually called Smeg. I couldn't have that. I couldn't have one of them in my kitchen. I would have to write head on it, and B, every time I looked at it, I would crack up laughing. Oh no. Why did you do that silly salute? From Red Dwarf. What's Red Dwarf? Heathen. Time for a sandwich. Hit like and out. Stay safe. Yeah, stay safe yourself, Lisa. Enjoy your sandwich. Sandwiches are always good. Oh, I've got some in the fridge. What have I got at the moment? I have got sausage, egg, and bacon, and the chicken triple. I know I say I don't normally do chicken, but hey, chicken and bacon, chicken and stuffing, and what's the other one? Chicken and sweet corn. Oh yeah, see, basically your history surrounds Wales, but avoided it luckily. Yeah, it's one of these things where it's just kind of in jokes over here, because we do have the various different nationalities all living together. Crypto Bengal, hello. Where can I get cheap fish tanks? Depends on where you are in the world as to what you would find. Facebook Marketplace, eBay, usually good. We'll just wait for sales. Roma 200, cracking tank. Pardon the pun. That's been UK. Oh, yeah, you're pretty much stuck on waiting for things to go on sale. I've not really bought. I mean, those ones were all cheap. They all came from Pets at Home. They were in the sale. They were down to £22 with a filter. Again, I got the Roma cheap because it was the next demonstration. The two Fluval Flexes I got in the sales. Yeah, Pets at Home normally got some decent prices. The Love Fish Panoramas are pretty good. I mean, the filters ain't great, but they work. Stick a sponge filter in there as well, and they're fine. How do I get X demo? Know the people that work in the shop. That's pretty much it. I was after one. I went into the shop, was having a chat with the guys, and I say, yeah, no, I'm going to get a Roma 200. And he goes, that one's X demo. We put the stand together and it's just been sat there to show what they look like. It's not had water in it or anything. I think I paid $250 for the tank. Did I pay $350 in total? I know I got it for £50 less than they were on sale for. No, I'm not in London. I'm in Norfolk. Norfolk and Good. Originally from Hertfordshire, which is why I've got the weird accent. Because if I had a Norfolk accent, half the people here wouldn't be able to understand a word I said. Priscilla, lovely Priscilla, how the devil are you, my sweets? I hope you're all well and safe, and the X-Man is as well. And also give your happy hound a fuss for me as well. That goes to anyone who's got dogs or cats, give them a fuss for me. Because I always fuss animals. Looking and putting away laundry. I'm not going to ask what you've been washing. You know. Well, we might end up in the same conversation we were having with Marriott last week, involving baths and showers and razors and wet fingers. Norfolk is nothing compared to a Cockney. Yeah, I haven't really got a Norfolk accent yet. That's the thing. I've been here. Yeah, it's you, little Marriott. You. I've seen the show the Priscilla's there. It's incredible. I will be having a look. Oh, good shrimp tank mates. Snails. Bristle noses. They only accidentally eat the odd shrimp. They don't actually do it on purpose. Naughty Marriott. He nearly made me limp last week. What else will I put in with shrimp? I mean, again, it depends on the shrimp, because I mean, there is shrimp in there with Bashir and Akaras, but the shrimp in there are big bamboo and vampire shrimp. But for things like cherry shrimp or caradina, probably best not to give them. Not to give them too much in the way of tank mates, because shrimp are basically food for everything else. So, I mean, unless you can get some really small nano fish, like some of the really tiny rasboras. I'm keeping my mouth shut, Marriott. Yeah, some tiny rasbora. I mean, most things will just eat them. Even neon tetras will eat shrimp quite happily. I know, because I've seen it happen. Although for a while I kept shrimp with a betta. That was purely down to the betta being so chill that they were his shrimpy friends. I also kept them with glow light Danios and African butterfly cichlids, but that was by accident. I thought I'd got all the shrimp out of the tank when I changed it over. And then one day I saw a shrimp. I was like, oh, bug, I missed one, so I pulled it out before it got eaten. Then, kind of before I knew it, there was sort of 70, 80. Was it 70 or 80? Yeah, there's 70, 80 cherry shrimp in there with a trio of adult cichlids and 7 Danios. Yeah, they did perfectly fine. Probably because the Danios probably ate all the planaria. Not a good tank mate for shrimp, planaria. Well, it seems to be my general one that goes with them. Although we're still planaria free. We've just got Daphnia in there now with them. Yeah. Should we just say the flirting continued for a little while afterwards. But hey, all good fun. Marriott's as big a flirt as I am. Bless her. You're lovely, ain't you, Marriott? Sweetness and innocence. Oh. Yeah, we're all sweet and innocent. Yeah, well, that's the problem, Michael. Is already married. Yeah, we were being nice. We were being coy, and I don't mean carp coy. But yeah, all all in good fun and in jest. Yeah, well, I kept those clean as well. Well, ish. Yeah. Before we go, let's have a look at as Shawnee's here, and I know Shawnee is going to enjoy. It's Shelly Dwelly time. Dun, dun, dun. That way. There we go. Oh, hello, big boy. Right, so this corner, that is the subdominant male. That is the dominant male. There's the dominant female. And down there is the subdominant female. So this poor guy gets to pretty much stay in the corner on his own all the time and isn't allowed out. And his territory is gradually getting smaller and smaller. As you can see, big boy is, you stay there. But as I say, nothing untoward ever actually happens. There's random crud, and then everything as usual over there, and yeah, the tub of pleco. Yeah, well, so I've got to show Sean some Shellies just to give him his fix. This is always the problem, is when you're doing anything, you got to remember every time you move the camera, it can make people go, whoa. When I'll be back north, I should get a good amount done this week. And got to paint the guest room. I'm sure Marriott would be perfectly happy to sleep in the Shelly shed, although it might be a bit noisy. But yeah, so I hope the weather's not been too evil your way, Sean. I mean, considering like a week ago we were snow and ice, and now it's today has basically been shorts and t-shirt weather. No reason I've not got my shorts on is because I couldn't be bothered to go and find them upstairs. They're somewhere in the wardrobe, in a pile with the rest of the clothes. Might be folded up. I don't know. Probably about time I got some new ones. Those ones are years old. Yeah, the Shelly shed. Oh, yeah, but you'd be surrounded by fishies. Lots of fishies. But indoors you could then snuggle with Shadow. So yeah, I'll go with this. I'd probably go with Shadow snuggles too. Just not my Shadow snuggles. I don't want to snuggle with that. Although on a hot night, that might be a good idea actually. Ah, yeah, snuggles with Sean as well. Fair enough. He's cheating on me. Yes. It's always good to have someone or something to snuggle with, but I'd rather not snuggle up with a sort of ghost. Haven't done much on that. Rain, yeah. 7 inches of snow and ice. So weather's been pretty good then, says the person who doesn't like the heat. Yeah, well, yeah, cooking deserves a snuggle. I'm sure I could put something in the oven out of a packet. Does the George Foreman grill count as cooking? Is that slightly more high end than a microwave? I'm sorry. Although what I cooked the other day, I'm sure Marriott would have enjoyed. with the sausage or bangers mash and gravy. Nom 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 nom. Butcher's sausages and cheesy mash. Burgers on a propane grill. Yeah, I'm not allowed near propane grills. Naked flame and me is just not a good combination. My hairline would recede even further and I'd have no eyebrows, I can guarantee that much. There'd probably be some kind of explosion as well. Go boom, yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'll stick with electric, safer. At least the worst I can do then is electrocute myself again. Old retired guy next door, garage. His next door's garage. Yeah, as I say, he's probably just enjoying the company more than anything, having someone to chat to. Yeah, we all know people whose way of helping is to stand there and talk. Yeah, we can't all be a la carte chefs though. Sent me the menu. Yeah. Yeah, but I'm sure it's a very posh menu, but would you rather have a meat pie with proper gravy, none of your wishy-washy weirdness, proper Oxo and Bisto gravy, good mashed potatoes done with mature English cheddar, none of your rubbery, pale, insignificant stuff. Yeah, can't beat it. Maybe a couple of Yorkshire puddings as well, just to make things even yummier. Because you can't go wrong with Yorkshire puddings and sausages. Toad in the hole. Toad in the hole being the epic meal that it is. Yeah, meat pie without question. Exactly. I mean, am I going to have to wave my Frey Benzos pie in front of you again? What was it? I forget which channel. This random recommendation came up on YouTube. For some reason, it's recently come up with a load of sort of Americans reacting to English culture and foods and the differences. And this was Americans trying English food, and they tried a steak and kidney pie. At first, they were disgusted by it because it wasn't sweet. And then after a couple of mouthfuls, they kind of understood what meat pie was. And they're like, yeah, this is good. Because I think English food tends to get a bad rub. People kind of think of it as really basic and boring and dull, and it's not actually. It's pretty tasty and filling and yum. It might not be delicate and finesse, but it's food. It's, when you're eating, you're basically putting fuel in the car. That's and English food has a lot of fuel content to it. Don't do proper cooking the entire time. Nuggets tossed in the air fryer. Ooh, air fryer. No, 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 not air fryer. Deep fat fryer, Sean. Fill it up with beef dripping. Nom 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 nom. Extra flavour. Yeah. High chance of fire, but it's worth it in my book. Oh, pardon me. Yeah. Trying to think what have I got in the shelves for next week. Oh, I've got some really nice cheese. I've got some almost out of date, so what that means is stronger. Extra mature Pilgrim's cheddar, which will almost be crunchy. Hopefully it is crunchy. Hopefully it's developed the salt crystals in it now. Yeah, you know, I'm probably into that stuff. Yeah, true. There's a reason I don't have a deep fat fryer as well. Same reason I don't have a propane grill. Because I mean, if I had a propane grill, my lighter would run out or break, and they'd be like, I can fire that up and light a cigarette off of that. Yeah, been there, done that. I mean, I knew someone who had a gas oven, and his lighter died, so he went to use the gas oven, or the rings on the gas oven, to light a cigarette. Yeah, it took a while for his eyebrows to go back. Yeah, things that go boom, it's just not a good idea to make you be around. Even things that possibly, potentially, maybe could go boom, they just have a tendency to go boom. Says the guy with shrapnel in his foot from a homemade. Yeah. Oh, I think all that shrapnel's out now. I think it's cleared itself after like 25 years or however long it is. Yeah, 25 years. So, about the electric bit a while back. Oh dear, where are we going with this one, Sean? Where are we going? As long as we're not talking something with internet connectivity that can be controlled from a mobile phone that you researched last week and sent me a picture of. Something with an offset weight on a motor. Yeah. And before I start thinking about that too much, the electric for the shed. Good. Phew. Yeah. Yes, electric for a shed. Yeah, that's a far safer subject. But as I said, I've got a long week of work next week, so I am going to call it on time for the 2 hours. I don't know if Priscilla's still here. Yeah, when you almost died. Yeah, that one. Is it wrong? Probably with both of us, that when you say that time I almost died, and you have to sit there and think, which one was that? That's not good. Like the time I nearly got killed by a bus, or an explosion, or a fire, or electric, or water, or toxins, or God knows whatever else that I've nearly killed myself with. I'm probably the only person that's actually got an electric shock off of a blimmin' Ethernet cable. So, there we go. But then I'm also probably the only person that changes things like light switches without turning the mains off. You just don't touch both wires at the same time, you're fine. Anyway, don't try that at home. And shells. No, I'm safe with shells usually. I haven't killed myself with one of them yet. No, yet. There's every chance that I could at some point. Power lines will lift you up for a bit. Yeah, I know. I've not had power lines, but I have had a 3-phase shock before. Yeah, that stings a little. Probably didn't help that I was inside a blast freezer at the time, up an aluminium ladder, wearing shorts. But there we go. Stories for another time. My time is up, and thank you everyone for showing up, leaving the likes, having a chat, having some fun, not getting offended by me, which is, let's be honest, easy to do. So usual, like, comment, subscribe, all that random stuff that everyone who's here already is, so we don't have to worry about it. Love you too, Marit. Mwah. Catch that. Peace out. Rock on. Sit up a shell dweller tank. Bye. Sunday Sharpe, do 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 do. Sunday Sharpe, do 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 do. Sunday Sharpe, do 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 do. Sunday Sharpe. Sunday Sharpe, do 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 do.